What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about bad parenting in 2025. So, before we get started, make sure y'all get the likes up on this. If you agree with everything I'm saying, be sure to leave a comment in the comment section and tell me what you think or what you have witnessed in public. I had to really talk about this because the things that I have seen today, it's very disheartening, to see parents that actually dishonor their children blatantly in public. It's very disheartening to see mothers in the Black community, especially, putting their children down in public and making them feel less of themselves. It's very disheartening to see, the potential failure within the younger generation of Black children, because they're out here so lost that it don't even make no sense. And what's mind-boggling is the amount of children that I have witnessed lately outside playing alone by themselves with literally no parent in sight whatsoever, that's not sitting out front watching them, at least sitting out front. Like, these children are literally running up and down the dangerous streets of Chicago playing outside alone by themselves. It was on my heart to really talk about this, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going through a situation in my life where I don't have, my children in my care. And I don't get an opportunity to see my children wake up from their sleep every single day and say good morning to them and give them a kiss and a hug before they go into their school. I don't get an opportunity to talk to my children every single day, okay? And it's just very upsetting to really see women out here that have their children that's treating their children like straight up nothing. Your child looks up to you. You all they get. Far as protection and to make them feel loved. You're their parents. The amount of disrespect towards these little children from their own parents, the amount of bullying from their own parents is just crazy. It is insane. 2025, the parenting in 2025 has went all the way downhill. I mean, there is no structure in the homes. Y'all not teaching y'all children valuable lessons. Y'all not loving them. Y'all don't care about them anymore. This is why these kids are out here lost and they don't know what to do. There's no guidance whatsoever because all of these new age parents that treat their kids like shit, they're too busy in their cell phones, worried about what's being posted on social media, worried about what time can they drop their child off so they can go out clubbing and stuff or go out with their friends and sit up and celebrate failure like you're not doing anything. All y'all doing is sitting amongst one another, drinking, smoking, and twerking. And seeing what they got on the next bottle. Meanwhile, your child that loves you, that was hoping that they can spend time with you that day, is at somebody else's house crying and giving them a hard time because all they want is their mom and their dad. But they can't get their mom and their dad because their mom and their dad has put so much time and effort and occupying their time doing other things except for worrying about their child. And then when they start messing up in school, it's a problem. When they start getting into fights and failing and talking back to the teacher, then it's a problem. Now they get your full-blown attention. You put so much effort and so much energy into, treating your child with more disrespect because they chose to do the wrong thing other than fixing everything so that they can do the right thing. And I come to y'all today to talk about these things, because the dishonor that I saw today, which I'm going to talk to y'all about, it was very disheartening, and it hurt me to see that. So I'm going to tell y'all what happened. Me and my husband was in the grocery store this morning with our daughter. And when we get towards the back of the grocery store, which was in the freezer department, to buy our items, there was this chick that was walking past with her two little girls. Black chick. Loud and ratchet, you know what I'm saying? Weave look all toe up like she got a hangover. She just in there wearing any old thing. Look like she got a complete hangover. She got her little girls with her. They look like they just woke up out of bed and just threw something on. Two little girls. One looked like, I would say the youngest looked like she was about 6. And then the oldest looked like she was about 8, I would say. So they wasn't too far apart. So their mom is leaning on the cart and she's, dragging her feet. Her little girls is walking behind her and, she's like, "Walk up. Come on." And me and my husband, we stopped and we like, oh snap, She was like, "Oh, y'all getting on my motherfucking nerves. I am so tired of y'all. You know what? And you," she was talking to her oldest daughter, "you, when we leave this store, I can't wait. I'm finna drop your ass off. You getting on my fucking nerves." This is exactly what she was saying to the little girl. And she said, "Walk your ass up now. You're walking too slow." Just mad, angry, negative, Black woman. I understand, our kids, kids will, man, your kid, y'all already know our kids be getting on our nerves sometimes, but we still love them, okay? We love them. But, when you gotta set your child straight in public, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a time and a place for everything. But yes, our kids do certain things, whatever the case may be. You set your child straight, and if you got to, but you do it with love. You do it with honor. You don't put them down in public and make them feel less of themselves just because whatever it is ticking you off. That's not what we do. We don't. You're not supposed to show the whole entire world how much you hate your child. Because first of all, you shouldn't even be hating your child in the first place. But like I said, if you got to set your child straight because there is something that they're doing inside of the store, then of course, that's rightfully so. Us as parents, we got to set our child straight. But like I said, you do it with love. You don't do it with dishonor. You don't do it with hatred. Because then, it will cause your child to feel insecure within themselves, They'll feel less of themselves. And it was real crazy to really see that. Because, like I said, I'm in a situation where I don't have my children, okay? I thank God that God blessed us to have one of our children, though. But my children are in the system, ma'am. I don't get a chance to wake up and see their beautiful faces every day. My situation is not based off of me hating my children. My situation is based off of coming from someone else's mouth, And if you hate your child this much, and if you hate your child so much to the point where you don't want to be bothered with her whatsoever, why don't you call the DCFS hotline and tell them that you don't want to be a parent anymore? Better yet, we'll take it the easy route for you. There is adoption out here. You know that, right? It is people that love children, like myself. It is people that love children. You know what I'm saying? And they would take your daughter in and they would treat her and honor her with respect and teach her right from wrong. But see, when I say stuff like this, people get mad. You know what I mean? Like, people be getting pissed off and they take it personal because it's like, who she thinks she talking to? You ain't finna tell me get my child up to no doggone system. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you hate your child though, right? You hate her. You showed that blatantly in public. Moving forward, another situation. There's a young lady that live around me, and I see her outside all the time. She got a little child. Her little child is like 1 year old. Little 1 year old little boy, I hate seeing this, what I'm about to say, because I don't understand. I don't understand. Why are you walking and your child is walking way behind you? In the dangerous streets of Chicago, do you not give a damn? And then what's mind-boggling is when something bad happens to their child, like for instance, God forbid, the child gets snatched up or hit by a damn car, or, in the midst of a shootout, it's like, oh my God, my baby. Now you want the whole public to mourn and all of this, like, and I'm not saying that, nobody can mourn for a child's death or whatever, but I mean, let's be honest with you. It's the mother's fault, okay? It's the mother's fault. And also, where was the father too? But it's the mother's fault because why you got your child walking way behind you and he's 1? And you all the way ahead of him down the street. And then he walking slow because he's 1. He just started walking. And you turn around cussing him out. Bring your motherfucking ass on. The dishonor and the disrespect to the children within the Black community is sad. And this is why you're seeing a high rate of Black on Black crime, because you have Black mothers out here that don't give a damn about their children, and the fathers as well. That's absent. And they're either too busy dealing drugs or hanging out on the corner, or they just not present at all. To make matters worse, right? The generational curses be so heavy within the Black community because then you got the Black grandparents that want to sit here and it's like competition against their own adult children. Who can wear the best outfit? Who can go partying the most? Now you competing with your adult child talking about how, oh, you got your degree and she don't. That ain't how you supposed to parent. This is how you supposed to parent. You know what I'm saying? So why don't you step in, Miss Lady, and help your adult child since you feel like she's doing such a bad job, But then when you get confronted in that order, it's like, oh, I ain't raising no kids. I already raised my kids and they're grown. That's the problem. The grandparents are so lost. The grandparents are lost in the Black community. They feel like, I ain't watching no kids. I ain't raising no kids. I didn't raise my kids already, okay? It's no structure, no discipline, no love, no compassion. All straight up dishonor and disrespect and dysfunctionalness within the Black community, within Black families. In the dysfunctional shit, I don't understand, like, how y'all are so comfortable this way. All across, you see nothing but dysfunctional Black families, for real. Not put together good. I'm not gonna lie, I rarely see Black, well put together Black families. I rarely see that. And when I do, I like seeing it. Break them generational curses. That's what I'm talking about. We don't need no dysfunctional shit. And that's why, me and my husband, one thing I'm so grateful for is how we are raising our children. Like, when we do get a chance to see them or whatever, we make sure that we make sure that they loving on each other as siblings. We already know kids feel like certain things it's not fair because this sibling gets more and they get less, or this person gets less, and it's like, we already know, and we teach them about that. And when we teach them about that, we teach them valuable lessons within, so that they can learn to grow and love each other, share with each other. And one thing for sure, y'all, even though I might not have my kids, when I do see them, me and my husband did an amazing job, because we do get compliments when people see these things. They like, man, y'all did doing a great job. Even though you barely get a chance to see your kids, when you do, y'all make sure that y'all loving on them and making sure they love each other, and we all love each other as a family. We be like really strong together as a family. We don't talk down on our children. We don't disrespect our children. We don't hate our children. They feel the love. As soon as we come through the room, they can feel it. And they cling tight, And I don't see this going on too much in the Black communities, man. I don't. But when I do, like I said, I like seeing it. I like mothers that honor their children, and fathers that honor their children. I like seeing like children being respected by their parents, and children respectful towards their parents. I like seeing that. I like seeing well put together families. I hate the dysfunctionalness. I really do. And I dislike how people be so in a comfort zone and so comfortable with being dysfunctional. I really don't understand. But then again, I sit back and I think and I say I do, because nobody's thinking with a brain to say, you know what, we got to stop this. We got to cut all this stuff out. This is a generational curse amongst my family. Nobody thinks to say that, you know what, we need to pray against these generational curses within our family and grow to love our children. It's mind-boggling. And then they be walking around so comfortable talking to their kids like this and disrespecting their kids, and like, you don't even care about the child's feelings after you said all that. This little girl was walking around the store and looking real sad with her head down. And then she looked up and she looked at our daughter And she looked at us and she looked real sad. And you could tell she was just thinking to herself, like, man, I just wish that I could be that little girl. I wish I had nice parents like her. Because I can only imagine what that little girl got to put up with when she go home. I can only imagine and then you can't even get mad at your daughter if she do have an attitude because she acts just like you. It's the way that you present yourself in front of her. It's the way that you present yourself when you out in public towards her. Yeah, she's acting like you. The disrespect though. And then to the chick that's walking down the street and her 1-year-old son was walking far as hell behind her. Anybody could have snatched his little behind up. Anybody. And she probably wasn't even gonna care then. Well, she probably was. For the clout. For real. Because it ain't nothing but a bunch of clout chasing Jezebels out here. That's all it is. Y'all do anything for clout. Anything for clicks and likes and views. Anything. You don't care about your child though. You don't put that much effort, all that love that you got into social media. Why not take that and put it into your child? Y'all don't even invest because y'all hate their fathers so much that you grow to dislike your child, to dishonor your child. That's the truth. Majority of these mothers out here that dislike their kids and talk to them like they ain't shit, that's because they hate the fathers. Because I can almost guarantee you, if you love their father and the father loves you back and y'all was in love, you would not be talking to your child like that. Because it would be love all up in the house. Real talk. Me and my husband, we love one another and we show each other love, and we show our daughter how much we love each other, and she loves seeing that, and we love on her as well. So you got a well put together family. When we out in public, we love on each other. We stay close to each other. Okay? We show everybody how much love and honor we have for one another. And a lot of people either turn their nose up at us or they get cool with us. But it's very rare that we come across cool people out in public, you know, nice people with kind hearts that actually like seeing us put together. It's very rare when we come across it, because this world is just full of like dishonor and hate and envy. And people ain't got nothing but hate in their hearts, like I said, because when you don't love yourself, you're not going to love others either. When you don't respect yourself, you're not going to respect others either. Hell, you ain't even going to respect your own kids. So, in the Black community, the things that I gotta see as far as parenting is crazy. It's really crazy. Let me tell y'all a situation that happened a long time ago. It was this chick that I used to hang out with. This was like all the way back in like 2018 or something like that. It was this chick I used to hang out with. And, you know, we used to like really have fun. Like really have fun. I'm not talking about the bad fun. I'm talking about good fun. She would bring her cousin along, you know, who was pregnant. And I'm thinking she's coming to hang out with us too and have fun, you know. And this chick is coming. She's pregnant. She coming with Hennessy bottles and weed and Black and Milds. And she was like 6 months pregnant at the time. And she was getting lit in front of us. And I told my friend, I'm like, what is this? What is this? She was like, I don't know. I keep telling her not to be doing that, and she really be. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the first time ever I'm really seeing something like this, you know? And then she would bring her kid out with us, and her kid was like 6. And I'm like, why is a 6-year-old hanging out with grown women? Let alone she's watching her mother drink, get high in front of her, and next thing you know, she calling her daughter bitches. She called her daughter's first name is bitch. Seriously. And I'm not talking about like it's on her birth certificate. I'm talking about her daughter's first name. You might as well say her daughter's first name is bitch, because that's all she called her. And when I first heard her say that, I said, hey, chill. This is what you do. You did. She was like, so what? Fuck that little bitch. I'm like, oh my God, no, you gotta be kidding me. You ain't never, no, you calling your daughter this? She was like, she getting on my damn nerves. I said, well, why would you bring her out with you? And first of all, you shouldn't even be doing stuff that you doing, ma'am. I'm gonna just be honest with you. She was like, I do what I want to do, and can't nobody tell me blah, 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 blah. Straight up disrespect her daughter. And then, I told my friend, I'm like, I am not about to come out with you ever again, if you bring this girl. She was like, okay, we don't got to worry about nothing. You don't got to worry about me bringing her with us ever again. I'm like, all right, I took her word for it. So next time I went out with her, she was like, hey, I got to stop at my auntie's house. You can come in if you want. We get out the car, we go in. Guess who's in there? Her cousin, the same one that was in the car. And this was like months later down the line. And at this point, she was like 9 months pregnant. And then the little girl was in there too. And I was like, pull my friend to the side. I'm like, hey, I didn't know they was about to be here. Like, she was like, oh this is my auntie's house. So yeah, they live here. So I'm like, why you ain't tell me? All right, I guess, So then, everything was all good. Everything was all good. We just sitting over there. I guess she had to get something from her auntie, and so we was getting ready to leave. But next thing you know, this girl, big as ever, walking around pregnant, again, calling her daughter bitches and hoes and telling her to sit down. And she's doing this in front of her mother as well. Her mother was listening to this stuff. And I'm looking at the grandma like, oh my God, I can't, like, this girl got to put up with this. So I told her, I said, hey, could you please don't do that? She was like, you ain't about to come in here and tell me what to do in my house. I'm like, hey, I'm not about to argue with you. I just feel like that's disrespectful to be calling your daughter out her name, calling her bitches and stuff. Like, she's a little child. So next thing you know, she pulls out a Black and Mild, flames it up, and starts sipping a cup of vodka that was sitting on her nightstand. And I'm like, ain't you like 8.5, 9 months pregnant? You're fucking this child up. She was like, yeah, so what? My child gonna be good. I do what I want. Oh my God, you could not tell her nothing. It was disgusting. After that, I never went back and hung out with that friend again, because, like, first of all, you lied to me, and we ended up back around this girl, and she's doing, I don't want to see that. Like, I know that's what y'all do or whatever, and y'all okay with it. And you know what, though? Like, the amount of Black women that do these things, though, it's crazy. You wouldn't even believe it. Black women really be out here. And I don't, I'm talking about my own culture of people, because I don't know about the other cultures, but I do know it is some white women I've heard that has, did hard drugs with their child, pregnant with a child. But I'm talking about my own culture of people and the things that I have witnessed within this culture. It's like y'all be really comfortable pregnant as ever, either being a whore and selling yourself while you pregnant, or you sitting up here getting high and drunk. And then when the baby is born, you treat the child with straight up disrespect. You always going out, putting your child off on other people. Like, just disgusting behavior, bro. Disgusting behavior. For real. Like, when I tell you that to see this stuff blatant in front of my face, and fast forward into today, and to see these things right before my very eyes, it's sad because I'm going through a situation where I don't get a chance to talk to my kids every single day or see their faces every day. But y'all, on the other hand, you get to wake up to your child, and you get a chance to spend every moment with your child, and you hate them with all your heart. And y'all fathers too out here, y'all ain't no better. Y'all ain't no better because you ain't even trying to be there for the child. And I'm talking about these deadbeat ass fathers. I'm not talking about the fathers that try to push very hard to be able to see their kids and they get rejected. I'm not talking about those type of men. I'm talking about the men that just don't want nothing to do with their children. That's what I'm talking about. You got this chick pregnant. You laid down with her. She didn't make the child by herself. You helped her make the child. You impregnated her. She carried your child. You wasn't even there for her during the pregnancy. You bailed out then. Let alone when the child was born, you was unheard of. Then you probably only seen the child once, finally. And after that, you just bailed out again. And it's like, what's in the mindset of these men that are neglecting their children? You blatantly getting women pregnant, and then once you find out that they pregnant, which you should have already known. I mean, you ain't a damn dummy. You know that when you put your stuff in and you do what you do, it's a strong possibility she may get pregnant. So when she pregnant, now it's like, oh, I'm gone. I don't want no kids right now. Okay, then you should never been doing what you was doing. So now you neglecting your child, your seed. The seed that you're supposed to watch grow, you're neglecting it. You're supposed to train that child up in the way that they should go. But you're neglecting that. You're neglecting that. Then when you get on child support, you a sorry bastard. I'm going to just call it how I see it. And like I said, once again, for the people that don't listen, I'm talking about the deadbeat men that don't want to be a part of the child's life, don't want nothing to do with the child because you feel like you'll have to deal with the mother. That's sad. That's sad. Because I do understand it is certain situations where there is toxic women, and the women, the woman is so toxic that she don't want you to come around and see your child unless you sleep with her. And some of these men, they give in and they do it because they like, man, if that's the only way that I can see my child, then I'm going to have to lay down with her and give her some, because she ain't going to stop hounding me for it. Even though y'all ain't together, even though y'all broke up, she feel like hell. I need some of that. You coming over here to see your son or your daughter, I'm going to need some of that. So, come on now. And then, once you give it to her or whatever, she walking around the house acting like she wifey material now. And you ain't even known that. But you just trying to see your child. And I understand. I do. Trust me, I do. I know it is women out here like that. But some of y'all give in to stuff like that. And you give in to that toxic behavior. And then you be surprised when all of a sudden she don't want you seeing your child no more. You know, you allowed her to take control of you. And some of y'all gotta understand it's time to go to the if you want to see your child and you don't want to give it up to her, I recommend, unfortunately, that you just go to the court system. Real talk. If you really want to be a part of your child's life. And I hate to say that because unfortunately the court system, sometimes they don't play fair, especially the black families. Real talk. With visitation and, you know, splitting the custody of the parents, and I know they don't play fair sometimes. They majority of the times they do not favor the black families. And then the other route is I don't know, you know, because and why I say I don't know, because the black community is so toxic. Majority of the people in the black community is so evil, wicked, and toxic. So it's like, damn, is this man gonna have to wait until his child is old enough to finally be able to really talk to his child? And it's sad. It's very sad. You know? And these are men that really need to be a part of their child's life. And they're being pushed away by the mother because she wants some good. She don't care about him wanting to be a part of his child's life. And she don't care about the child having both parents still. Because see, people need to understand this. You ain't got to lay down with your ex and stuff like that in order for them to be around and, you know, parent and stuff like that. Y'all don't have to do and be toxic as hell towards one another in order to parent the child. Y'all can be around each other and be cool and be cordial and allow your child to see that he or she has both parents in their life. Or maybe if y'all cool enough, y'all can set up a visitation and, you know, you can drop the child off for however many hours and then they can like arrange something like that. Because the toxic behavior is being displayed in front of the child. Now the child start to understand when they get older, like, man, my dad couldn't come around my mom unless he said yeah to her, you know, her needs. And unfortunately, that was the only way for the father to be around the child. And then the mother, and I'm going to just say this, like, the toxic behavior around these children is also causing dysfunctionalness within the children as well. And then you wonder why they get into fights and you wonder why they're unhappy all the time. It's because of the things that you're showing them. How you showing them that you don't even love them. Like I said, if you don't want your child, it is people that want children out here. Maybe you can get your child up for adoption. Sorry if that's too harsh for you to hear. But I mean, if you dishonor your child and you hate your child, then why you can't hear some simple advice for you like that? Also know that if you dislike your child that much, you can voluntarily give up your rights through DCFS too. You can. Give your child up. Because there's kids out here that really love their parents and they don't deserve to be treated the way they being treated by their own parents. Understand something to my men out here too that's out here neglecting y'all children. And I'm talking about the men that don't care. These children need their fathers. They need their fathers. Without their fathers, it's going to create a world of a lost generation, a bunch of children out here pregnant at young ages, gang banging, shit. It's already going on. It's already going on. These children need their fathers. And my men that's out here neglecting y'all kids and they just don't want no parts. Man, come on now, you gotta step up. If it took two of y'all to create a child, it take two of y'all to raise the child as well. You have to understand that your child is a human being with feelings as well. And just because you ain't have your mother or your father growing up, or maybe both parents, don't mean that you can do the same for your child. That's just flat out selfish. And that's just wrong. Real talk. Because they didn't ask to be here. They was put in a situation where they was born. So y'all need to stop giving up on y'all parents out here. On y'all children. Y'all need to really stop. These children need y'all. If your child does something to aggravate you or irritate you, I highly ask that you pray and calm yourself down and go back around your child and treat them with love and respect and teach them and train them, because children are innocent and they don't know. They only know what you teach them. They don't know right from wrong until you teach them that. And some of y'all just bully them and talk down on them and hit them and stuff like that. And they just want to be loved. They just want to understand. And maybe it's something they don't understand. It's your job and your duty to break it down to them. And I can say these things because I am a damn good mother. And can't nobody tell me I ain't no good mom. Can't nobody tell me that. You know, people say certain stuff and they put certain stuff on in black and white and paper because that is their view of me. They can't tell me that I'm not no good mother. That's their view. They feel like I'm a monster, okay? The system's job is to paint a narrative of us as being monsters and horrible people and horrible humans and criminals. And, that's their duty. That's their job. That's what they're going to do. And a lot of people, y'all issue out here is y'all believe everything you hear. That's your problem. You believe everything you hear instead of actually getting to know a person so you can see how they are as a person and getting to see what they do so you can tell that they're actually not a bad person and not this person that these people is just talking about or painting a picture of. Because a person that hates you, obviously, they're going to paint a bad picture of you. A person that despises you is going to paint a bad picture of you. Of course, why wouldn't they? They dislike you. Duh. Same thing for these people with these jobs or whatever. They get paid to do what they do. They get paid to actually go against what they're supposed to do positively in the first place. So, of course, their job and their duty is to paint a bad picture. Why wouldn't they? They get paid to do that. You got mothers like me that want to be there. I want to be there for my children. I want my children. I crave my children. But I don't put my kids first. I make sure I put God first. And then I got to put myself next. Because without putting God first and putting myself next, what type of mother would I be? What type of mother would I be? And it's like, I'm out here still praying every single day. Praying for the safety of my children. Praying that I get the chance to reunite with them every day. And I say that I pray for them. I pray for their safety all the time, every day. But I already prayed that I reunite, and I put it in God's hands, If it's His will, He will let it be. Some of y'all fail to realize too that God will put us in situations to make us stronger too. You could say, you could say, God, please bless me with a car. I haven't driven a car in 10 years. I need a car. And either He'll get you that car that you've been praying for, and it might be broke down, but you asked for a car, or He may make you continue to go without a car to see how strong you can be without going without a car until you finally get your dream car. So He will allow us to go through certain things. That's why I say if it's His will, He'll let it be. So I will never stop loving my children, though, regardless of the outcome. I will never stop loving them. I will never stop being there for them. They will always know that they got me and they got their father. Real talk. But it's just sickening, and it's sad to see y'all really out here disrespecting y'all children and not honoring them and really hating them. Really hating them. And some of y'all really do raise y'all children based off of the way that you was brought up, instead of giving them a better life because of the way that you was brought up. And I'm not talking about materialistic stuff, because a lot of y'all use that excuse to be able to spoil your children with whatever they want, even when they being disrespectful too. I'm talking about loving on your child and teaching them things that wasn't taught to you. Teaching them things that wasn't taught to you until you found out later on down the line, and then you learned the right way, So you teach your child the right way. And some of y'all have been through things in y'all life where you learned your lesson, and you can apply that same exact thing to your child. But instead of doing that, you beat them down and you disrespect them and you call them names and you put them down because you just don't feel like teaching them nothing. You don't feel like you want them around you right now. You don't feel like going nowhere with them. You don't feel like cooking nothing for them. You don't feel like hearing them ask you for anything. You don't feel like nothing. Literally, you don't feel like nothing. It's always, oh my God, I don't feel like. Well, I mean, you did lay down and you got pregnant and you did carry a child for 9 months. And you did push that child out. And that child does rely on you for care. That child does rely on you and their father for care. And for love and for protection. Like, they rely on you. And then a lot of these children out here got demonic ways, unfortunately, because of the household that they're being raised in and how they're not loved and they're not taught right and they don't know respect and they out here cussing. Literally, these kids that live around me be young as ever cussing. I can't believe these women and these men will leave their children outside to play alone by themselves at the age of 1 and 2. I can't believe it. Ain't no damn way a 1 and 2 year old supposed to be outside playing alone by themselves in the dangerous streets of Chicago. I don't give a damn if it ain't dangerous. Shouldn't no 1 and 2 year old be outside playing alone? They should have supervision for real. And kids that's older than them as well, because I'm seeing 5 and 6 year olds playing outside alone by themselves and they're cussing. And they're smoking paper. And they breaking up people's property. I mean, like, the little boy got to be like 7. And he's calling the other little girls bitchs and HOEs. And I'm like, wow, where is they parents? Where is the parents? And they be outside until 10 p.m. playing and cussing. That's all you hear. Then you see the older girls, they like 12 and 13. I would say the oldest is probably 14. And they over there being fast, twerking, doing TikToks, shirt tied up in the back, little old shorts on, swinging their little weaves in their hair, tongue sticking out, twerking, yelling out, "Ay." And I'm like, oh my God. Man, this is crazy to see how lost these kids are. And then the 12 and 13-year-old boys around here, they be walking around here with ski masks on, and they be acting like they got a gun on them. Pants be sagging. They all got dreadlocks. All of them. They got dreadlocks. But this is what I see in my own black community. This is what's going on. This is why there is black on black crime a lot. This is why these children be out here loud-mouthed with no respect whatsoever, because it starts in a home. And whatever they see in the house and whatever they're allowed to do outside of the house and inside of the house, they're going to terrorize the public because of the way that they're being raised. For real. It's sad. It's sad. Their parents don't have no love for them, because if you loved your child, you would not have your child out here until 10:30, 11 o'clock p.m. playing outside alone by themselves. If you loved your child would not be out here playing alone by themselves in these dangerous streets. If you loved your child so much, you would make sure you bring your ass outside when they come outside and go in the house when they go in the house. Because you're the parent and you're running the show. I can't do it. I cannot have it. It is sad that, it gotta be this way, that my child cannot play in her own community. Like, don't get me wrong. We do go to the parks and stuff in our community. But when we get outside before the ratchets and the demons come out. We got to be outside way ahead of time. Majority of the time, we got to take our child far out to go enjoy herself. Because I don't want my child playing around these other children out here that's dangerous, that's cussing, that's gang banging, that's twerking, like, acting like they smoking and stuff because their parents don't care about them. I'm not about to be up here yelling at nobody else's kid, and then next thing you know, I'm going to be expecting to get hell. Hey, all hell going to break loose with their parent, because, this is Chicago. You can't tell nobody else's kid what to do, because you putting your life on the line when you just basically trying to tell someone else's kid not to be the way that they are or do the things that they doing. Because when they go back and they tell their parents, you got to be expected to go at war with their parents and protect your life, because they might try to take your life because you told their child not to do something. These children out here are out of control, and it's the parents' fault. It's the parent. It ain't nobody else's fault. Don't blame the white man. Don't blame the white man. The white man ain't get you pregnant. The white man ain't tell you to open up your legs. The white man, don't blame the white man. This ain't nothing that got to do with the white man at this point. Because, yeah, it's stereotypes about us out there. But you're fulfilling those stereotypes that they talk about because of how you decide to raise your child. You fulfilling the stereotypes, literally. This ain't got nothing to do with the white man. At this point, it's about you being a mother and you being a father and raising your child with love and with care, with respect, with compassion. Y'all out here bullying y'all own kids. Bullying your own kids. But you the main one in the comment section when you see another child being bullied on social media. You the main one in the comment section talking about how these parents need to do something about the child being bullied. Or you dare a person to bully your child. What you mean? You the main bully in your child's life. You putting them down every day. They can't even wake up in peace. I feel bad for these kids. They can't wake up in peace. They can't even wake up without being yelled at and cussed out. First thing smoking, soon as they pop their eyes open. And then, most importantly, God is not in these homes. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. These broken black families are not well put together, and they don't have the same love that they have for God, or how they claim that they believe in God and stuff like that. They don't bring prayer into their homes amongst one another. Like, they're not, their spiritual beliefs is not in the home that they reside in. It's nothing but negativity, dishonor, and darkness. It's just hell. It's hell. Your child is being raised in hell. This is why I feel so sad for these kids, because I can only imagine the hell that they have to walk into when they go in the house with their parents that hate them. Imagine a child waking up every single day of their life and they're being hated by their own parents, put down by their own parents, bullied by their own parents, treated like nothing by their own parents. Imagine that. And then what does that equal? That equals a lost generation of children. A lost generation that's out here gang banging and doing the do at an early age and getting high and drinking. And just popping out kids at an early age. You're seeing 14 and 15-year-olds pregnant. And then they got to raise a child, and they're a child themselves. Little 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds twerking on boys and giving it to them. Like, for real. I'm not lying to you. I told y'all about a situation a long time ago where I knew this lady that had to go and visit this daycare because she got a call stating that, the 4 and the 5-year-old little boy was in the closet giving each other oral, You can't make this up. It's happening at a fast rate. And, the black community is going downhill because of the laziness within the parenting skills. Is just not there. They raising their kids. I guess I would say they raising their kids like they playing with a baby doll or something, It's like when I was a kid, I used to love playing with dolls until I turned a certain age, and then I hated playing with dolls. I was tired of it because I felt like, man, I'm 11, I'm 12 now. I don't want to play with no baby dolls no more, So now I'm neglecting my dolls and throwing them to the side because I no longer want them. Because when you get older, you grow into other things like games and, stuff like that. You clinging more to television time. You want to watch Nickelodeon and Disney Channel and stuff like that, riding your bike and stuff. You grow out of toys, but you got hobbies now. That's what it reminds me of. It's like y'all treat y'all children like they toys, like they just these little toys that you can play with, and just throw them to the side when you're done playing with them. That's how these kids are being treated, and that's why they out here reckless, acting wild, reckless behavior. They ended up in juvenile detention centers and stuff like that. They getting charged as adults for committing crimes as if they're a damn adult because of their parents and because there is no love in the home. Their life is hell because of you and your hatred for them. The fact that this is going on in the Black community sickens me every single time I see it, because it's a mother like me that's fighting for her children to come home. Me and my husband both. Like I said, I thank God that we was blessed with a child that we can raise together. I thank God. But I'm still fighting for her siblings to come home. And every single time I think about them, I be wishing that I can see their face every single day. Wake up to them every day and love on them every day. And there's parents out here that really hate their kids, and they get a chance to wake up to them every day. It's a shame. It's sickening. And y'all need to snap out of it, because we in the end times. Real talk. And you should love your child. Love your child. They love you. They love you. Why you can't love them back? That's sad. Anyway, leave a comment in the comment section and tell me what y'all think. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I appreciate all the support that I've been getting as of lately. And I appreciate y'all for at least tuning into these videos and watching them. Nevertheless, wake them folks up.